Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Mercedes and this is the Frugal Life with Mercedes. So, this should not come as a surprise to anyone, but I feel like I need to address it. Companies and corporations do not care about you. I'm sorry, but they do not. I'm sure that this video might be met with mixed feelings. I don't want to get into it too much, but there has been a lot of talk lately on social media, specifically about Target, Walmart, Sam's Club, and there are boycotts, and I honestly did not know about it until the other day, but I guess it's been talked about for sometime in January it started, and I'm all for a boycott. Like, I definitely believe that our money, I learned a really long time ago. I don't remember. I might have been in like middle school or something like that, and it might have been like some sort of, I think we were taking we were learning about money, and I remember a teacher saying, every time you buy something, you are voting for you're voting for something. So wherever you're putting your money in the economy, you're saying that you're okay with the principles of that product and the ethics of that company. And I know that we're out here just swiping our cards and adding things to our carts online, and it's like automatic and you're not really thinking about it. And I'm bad about that too. Especially when I was younger, I was very much like, I am voting with my dollar, and I tried to be very conscious of that. And then as I got older and other things kind of come over you and you have other focuses, I lost a little bit of that. And I'm sure if you guys maybe were inclined that way, you might have lost it too. But that is the reality. When you buy something, you are saying, I agree with the way this product was made, manufactured. I am okay with the way that the place that I bought it, their ethics, their values, the way they treat their employees, the way they treat our environment, the way that they treat the people that make the products, most likely in a third world nation. I'm okay with how they're treating those people and how they're doing things. But the reality is, are you really? Because if you're not really conscious about that, and if you're not really thinking about that, then you probably wouldn't buy like 99% of the stuff that you buy if you are concerned about those things. If you are not concerned with those things, then you probably would still buy them. But the sad reality is, these corporations do not care about you. They do not care about your values, your ethics, and so that's really what I wanted to say. Like, I am all for a boycott. So if you are not comfortable with the way a company is running its business, or it promised something and it's not delivering, or if you feel like they're being unethical, then you 100% have every right to not shop there, to not buy those products. But what a corporation tells you and what's really going on is not necessarily the same thing. And I want to tread lightly with this because I understand. I am a white lady. I just am. Okay, I know that I know what I am, and so I don't really get to speak on the feelings of minorities. But I have to say that these corporations did not necessarily care about minorities or women or the LBGQ plus community, they saw that that is what people wanted them to care about. And so they started producing products that were Black-owned companies, women-owned companies. They started selling gay pride paraphernalia, memorabilia, whatever I don't know exactly what you would call it. And those items sold. And then I don't really understand why they stopped doing it. People are saying that like the stockholders had something to do with it, and then other people are saying that the companies were doing it and the stockholders didn't really agree. I'm hearing all sorts of different things, and like I said, I'm not super well versed in this. So I'm sorry if I'm stepping on anybody's toes. That's not my intention. But you have every right to not shop wherever you don't want to shop, and you can decide at any moment to boycott whatever it is that you want. Just a little example for myself, I've mentioned before, I do eat meat, but I do not wear leather, fur, silk, wool. I personally do not participate in any of that. Now, the exception being, if I find something secondhand and I fall in love with it and it happens to be made of animal materials, I will make an exception if it's secondhand and I've already fallen in love with it. So I do have a couple of wool sweaters. All the wool sweaters that I have are secondhand, and they are from the 1980s, so they are vintage. And I own my leather cowboy boots. I did make a big exception for that, but that was because I looked into vegan leather and I wasn't really finding anything that I liked, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't get it again. And this is not justification. This is just saying that, like, that's important to me to not wear animal hides, and so I make a practice of not doing it. And we need to be supporting companies and businesses that support women and minorities and people of different backgrounds. And it shouldn't be a cookie cutter, the same type of people making products and running businesses and who get prosperity. That I don't agree with that at all. It should be, I've got a great idea, here's a product, and us all have the ability to go and get that product. Do you know what I mean? And I'm sure I'm probably all over the place, and I'm sure I've probably lost a few people, but the people that have been with me for a really long time know that my heart is coming from the right place, and I want to see change. I want to see more women-ran businesses. I want to see more, businesses ran by people of color out for us to purchase. But you cannot trust what these corporations are saying. The best way to support whatever is important to you is to buy from small businesses. So I'm going to say that again. The best way for there to be change and for you to follow your personal ethics is to buy from small businesses. I make a practice of, when possible, buying from small women-ran businesses. That's something that's important to me. And just because a corporation says something, that doesn't mean that's what they're going to do. And I'm upset about the situation too, because if a corporation makes you feel like you can trust them, and I get it, they make you feel like, okay, you see me, I got you, okay, but then it's like, oh, never mind. And it's not a fad Do you know what I mean? Like supporting people of color and supporting women-ran businesses and supporting the LGBTQ plus community. It's either important to you or it's not. It's not a fad. And if it's not important to you specifically who's watching this, because, I have to speak to each of you as individuals, that's your business. But if it is important to you, then buy from small companies that are what it is that you support. And a lot of times these things are, small businesses, they're a lot more ethical. They're usually locally sourced, a lot more environmentally friendly. They're treating their employees like human beings with a living wage. All things that are very important. And just another example, for my wedding, I will be talking about my wedding in a future video, but the desserts for my wedding are going to be made from a lady that lives down the road from my parents. So she's local and she's a woman, and she will be making the desserts for my wedding. Instead of us going to a big dessert place that is a corporation, we are choosing to do a small, local, female-ran bakery instead, because that is important to me. And my mother found this lady, and it's important to her too. My mom's really big into supporting local, and so is my partner. But guys, don't trust these corporations. Do you know what I mean? I get it. Listen, I show you guys Target hauls and Costco hauls and Dollar Tree and Walgreens and all that. And so I'm part of the problem too. But it's so incorporated into our daily lives that we have to buy. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't really get everything from the local farmer market. That's not the way that our system is set up. And so it's like, oh, well, I'll just buy from such and such big corporation online. Well, guys, if you did a Google search, you would see that every major corporation has issues. Any store you can think of has had strikes, has had boycotts, has had questionable business practices. The company that built your car, the company that built your house, the company that built you made your favorite shoes, that, all those things, they all have problems. And the only way to fix that is to vote with our dollar. Every time we shop, we are voting with our dollar. So use that power to your advantage. Boycott where you are not comfortable shopping. Put your money into small businesses if you can. And I understand that can be more expensive, and it's not in everybody's budget. And if it's not in your budget, don't feel bad. We're all doing the best that we can. But I just kind of wanted to address some of that stuff and tell you guys that it's like they're all doing things that they shouldn't necessarily be doing. And just because it's not on the news doesn't mean that it's not going on. Because if you backtrack it to the countries where they're manufacturing this stuff, those workers don't have adequate pay or necessarily a safe environment that they're working in. And the companies need to be held accountable for all these things. But we also have to take accountability for our part in it. And it's not about feeling guilty. It's about recognizing that we do have power in numbers and we do have the ability to make change, but it's not going to be changed overnight. And we should be holding these companies accountable, but we have to hold ourselves accountable first. How many times did we vote for a product or a corporation that didn't align with our values? And then we need to try to make decisions whenever possible to support companies that follow our values and follow what we want to see happen in the world. Okay, so as I said, I really hope I didn't offend anybody, and I'm sure I probably spoke out of turn at some point, but you guys know my heart genuinely is in the right place, and I want to see change. And so we need to take this opportunity to make a change. Okay, so I hope you guys got something out of that, and just know that my heart is in the right place, and I'm trying to tread lightly on situations that maybe I don't necessarily belong in. But this video definitely feels like it's genuine to my channel and the things that I want to see happen. So thank you guys so much. I hope you got something out of this video. Please consider subscribing to my channel. If you did not know, I have an Instagram, The Frugal Life with Mercedes. Until next time, guys. Bye. Thank you.